We are young filmmakers campaigning to end child poverty within the UK. We made this film to show how children and young people's lives are affected by poverty.
Imagine living on your own on £45 a week. When you're under 25, you get less benefits anyway. I don't see why. You pay at least £10 gas a week, and in the winter at least £10 electric a week, £5 a week water rate. You've sometimes got rent arrears from where it's your first time living on your own and you don't know how to sort out your housing benefit forms, and sometimes there's not anyone there to help you. And you've got loans sometimes then for trying to get all your furniture and things together. You've got nothing left to get yourself even a hobby, clothes and things, or even education. Say you're on £45 a week, you can't exactly spend £2 or £3 of that to jump on the bus, because you can't even get down to the college or afford the books because you don't get your grant till like 2 or 3 months in, even if you do get a grant. Imagine your cooker breaks down and you haven't got that support coming in. You've got £10 a week to live on, which is no way enough after you've paid your bills. In the last couple of months, I've gone up a stone, but otherwise I was a stone and a half underweight when I was on job seekers allowance. When I was trying to manage my money myself, I wasn't managing it well and I was getting into debt and I wasn't paying my rent, getting rent arrears, but I'm still paying off now. And they expect you to pay council tax when you turn 18. I didn't find out about that, and I'm paying off bits and pieces now. I was not living with my parents at the time, and I was in difficult living circumstances, let's say. But when they offered me the flat, it was a week before Christmas, and they said, you either take this flat now or we won't offer you any more accommodation. It really weren't that nice. I couldn't make it look the part for Christmas. Not only that, it was, you know, grotty, decorating or cleaning, sorting things out from the last tenant. You probably think, oh, why didn't they get a job and then they can sort all this out. But if you want a job where you get promoted and you go up in the world and you provide for yourself and you want to get a boyfriend and kids one day, you can't live in this area and lots of other valleys in Wales, because there's no jobs where you can go up in the world. There's only factory jobs. Some people are lazy, but then you get others who want the jobs and they can't find the jobs. But some people tend to drink more, send their troubles away, or take some drugs to get out of this life sort of thing, you know, to find things a bit more interesting. Because it's not very interesting sitting there doing nothing with your own any money left to do anything at all.
It's just having basic necessities which most people got, but people which grow up in a deprived place haven't got it, nothing at all. It's stopping them from having all the things that you should have in life, like warm food, a tidy bed, a clean house. So like if I haven't got a clean house, you'll be needing to go to the doctor's more because you come down with the flu more often and stuff like that. There's lots of ways it can affect you, because you can't buy like new soap when you need it, like toothpaste, flannels. In school I used to get bullied for being from Fernhill, and the boys, they were from Merth, but in a posh part of it they used to call me a Fernhill smackhead and stuff like that, because I didn't have all the stuff which I needed they had. It was horrible being in school.
Did the teachers support you?
A few teachers did, but there was this one which I don't think he liked me because he used to call me a Fernhill smackhead and stuff like that. People know that your parents not working and think everyone will gang up on you just because you're from a certain place. Like, that's the problem, it doesn't go nowhere. But you feel terrible once you're getting bullied, and when you realise you can't buy trainers. But when you actually achieve your goal and by getting your trainers, I think you're more pleased to have them than other people who could afford them. They missed out on holidays and never been abroad. Just things which people are having and things which are coming out they have to wait years and years from. I'm only on £60 a week. I'm working 36 to 40 hours a week. Well, I still feel poor because I'm paying my debts. I get bought trainers through catalogues. I can't afford to go out and buy them straight off. I have to buy my phone from a catalogue, so I've got to pay weekly with that as well. I'm left with £10, £15, and that's gone by Saturday, Sunday. I'm not much of a transport user. I'd rather walk. No point just catching a train for 3 miles. £1.40 a single. Well, there's no point paying that, and it's only a 40-minute walk. It's not the way to live. For being working, you should have more stuff. If you live in a deprived place, There's nothing you can do. Most people do turn to drugs. There's plenty of people around here who've done that, and it doesn't look good on our sight. I've been brought up in it. I'm the only worker like in my house, so I know how everyone else feels up here. That's why I'm trying to start my family now on a different line. I'm trying to make it work for them now.
There's a lot of people living in these estates, council houses, but go without a lot. It's a big effect in school, like I know a couple of mates like have been discriminated by teachers and stuff like that, so they won't go to school. And it changes life totally, like, because if like you have a bad start off in school, then you don't go to school, you don't start going to school, you don't get into the routine of getting up in the mornings. You're not looking forward to going out and finding work and finding a job. So then you claim benefits, and then you've got nothing better to do to sit around. And a lot of people just spend most of the time just taking drugs and drinking rather than finding jobs. And you can kind of see why they want to forget what happens at home with their parents, if their parents argue a lot, or they have a bad time at school, or they get bullied. And I mean, because there's nothing to do on the estate anyway. And what I think is stupid as well, factory jobs. You need experience to go into a factory job at a young age. Say 16 now, I just left school. I need experience to go into a factory job. But that factory job wouldn't take me because I've got experience. But how am I supposed to gain experience if I can't go into another factory? My father left at a young age, so my mother weren't able to support me. She was only having like short benefits, so like we didn't get like holidays and new designer clothes or stuff like that. Like, but just try the best you can. Like, I mean, I didn't have a good time at school. None of my mates I know had a good time at school, like, and come out with qualifications or whatever. Like, I mean, I left school at like, say what, year 8, because I was having some trouble, not only off pupils, but teachers as well, like, being like singled out from where I was living. You know, some people got good parents who go out and work every day, work hard, come back for their children, and obviously they can have more, like, innit? If people think, you know what I mean, oh, he's bad, he lives in a certain place, then your own self-esteem goes down, and you don't want to break out where, like, it's like you want to live up to these expectations, and then things go totally wrong.
£90 a fortnight doesn't let any young person live. By the time you actually pay the bills that you've got to pay, you haven't got no money. Whereas young people are looking for jobs. There's no job in the Cynon Valley. The job centre, they can't help do nothing. The more you go down there, the more they make you feel unwelcome. If you want to get a job, you've got to go to Cardiff or away into cities. People are not willing to help people who are willing to help themselves. I moved out of my mother's for one, a certain reason, because one, it was too crowded and I was sleeping in a bedroom with girls, and two, because me and my stepdad hated each other drastically. Really, I didn't have no choice at all but to move out. Living in a flat for 7 months with no gas and a settee, that's what you call poverty. It makes me angry inside. The council gave me my keys, and then they went. There should have been a support act there to help you. Not just, here's your keys, there you go, goodbye. The helping hand we had was this project, which is why I am like I am now, because if you saw me before this project was open, I didn't have nothing. Every young person needs support, but not just the fact of a professional support worker. Every young person needs a friend. So to get youth projects and community centres up in estates like Fernhill, then I think every young person would get on track and realise that they are good for something. They have got talent. If a young person got a place to go when they're feeling down, not running under a bridge, drinking themselves silly or taking a lot of drugs, but a place to go to talk to somebody, actually as a friend, I think you're on your way. I'm angry deep down inside. I'm angry at the fact that I've never had a kickstart in life. I've never had a chance to live in my flat and feel my flat like it's home. Because there's all these professional people who, because I'm just a young person, think that they can walk all over me. If you don't get a kickstart in life, then your life is ruined, because that's all you think then, is that you're a loser.
As a parent, you always want different for your kids. It's like I left school without any qualification. Hopefully my girls ain't going to go down that road. Hopefully the girls are going to go through school, they'll get their heads down, they'll work, they'll come out with something that's a lot more than I come out to school with. Rather than having to go through the trap, benefits, and being sort of stuck to factory jobs and dead-end jobs because there's nothing else for them to do. My eldest has just turned 2 and my youngest is 8 months. Sort of like, you cope because you've got to at the end of the day. With childcare and stuff at the moment, I find it sort of financially struggling to juggle. When they're growing as well, it's like you got clothes and shoes. It seems like seconds they're in them, so cost of children just constantly mounts up. Christmas is financially crippling. I'm hoping to get back into full-time work soon. Realistically, that's the only way you're going to be able to provide a better standard of life for your children. I grew up with parents who were on benefits, and I want to be able to sort of not spoil them, but be able to say, yeah, okay, you want this, you can have it, it's not a problem. The pressures of being under